are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast, and welcome to our special Behind the Geeks episode for the Marvels. My name is Nate, and if you're joining us for the first time, we are Geekcentric, a podcast focusing on the world of movies, TV shows, games, and all things Geekcentric. Now, joining me for today's entanglement, we have my Fleur kitten, Justin Lawrence. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, my Fleur kitten?
Fleur kitten, Fleur companion, maybe? Why do we don't got to put labels on it, Justin? It's fine.
Sure, that's fine.
We're entangled. It's fine.
We're entangled, and it's fun. It can be fun. Yeah.
It can be fun, dude. It is a great day. As of this recording, we've seen the Marvels. Our review is out now. We had such a great time with that movie. I think we're still riding pretty high in space off that movie. We've got some special guests who helped to work on the movie and create the movie on the podcast here. And some big news. This just popped. The SAG-AFTRA strike is over and an agreement has been reached. I'm thrilled. I think we both are for everyone involved, and just I'm stoked to see the industry just move forward, so we can get more opportunities like the ones we had, on today's podcast.
Absolutely, and I was fortunate enough to sit down with composer Laura Karpman and executive producer Mary Livanos. Yeah, this was a great opportunity to chat with creative minds working on this film because, man, like you said, we really enjoyed it. And yeah, a huge thanks to our friends at Disney Studios Canada and Marvel Studios Canada for this entire time during the strike, just keeping us up to date with opportunities to interview directors and writers and producers and costume designers, like our latest series of interviews from the creative minds behind Loki Season 2. It's been really, really great to kind of get more of a peek behind the curtain with all of these projects that have been going on. So yeah, this was a lot of fun, and again, very grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, there's some pretty wonderful moments in these interviews that we'll probably talk about after you listen to them and or watch them. So without further ado, please enjoy our interview with composer Laura Karpman and executive producer Mary Livanos.
Hi, Laura. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us on the Geekcentric podcast. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you about the music you composed for the Marvels. I actually had a chance to preview the tracks, and I have to say there's just such a vibrancy to the overall score that I really enjoyed. And it got me thinking, you have such a great body of work, and you've done work in video games, you've done work in television. Is there anything specific about working on a Marvel project that changes your creative process compared to other projects you've worked on?
I think the size and scale and scope is just big. And you're given a massive canvas to play with and a big orchestra. So I think that you want to think about really being able to fill those spaces and write the biggest, baddest, coolest music you possibly can.
Yeah, well, I think you achieved that with some of the fantastic music. I think it, again, as I mentioned, I was able to preview it, and there's just such a great mix of like heroic strings and booming percussions. I love the choir elements as well. And there were some cool sound effects. Like it sounded like at one point there's like a vortex effect that's happening. It's pulling the music through. And it created such a visual in my mind from just listening to it. And I just wanted to know, like, what goes into selecting the right instrumentation for the right moments? And were there any inspirations for you when building this score?
Well, let me tell you first of all about those weird vortex elements, because they're actually pretty cool. Everybody knows the film. There's parts of the film that happen in space. So the first thing you want to think about is, what does space sound like? And I created a lot of environments for that. One is that I actually went to a prop house and rented space junk, like stuff that have fallen from the sky. And because
That's
we're
cool.
on a geek podcast, I think these specifics your people might dig, right? So
Yeah,
like
for sure.
literally pieces of rockets and stuff we played and created sound effects for. I also commissioned this incredible woman, Christina Talon, who's a data scientist as well as a composer, to create sonifications based on plot points, which of course I will never reveal even after everybody's seen the film.
Right.
So just like, what could this particular thing sound like? So if you take the data and then translate that into music, that's what a sonification is. And finally, I hired the genius percussionist Evelyn Glennie. And the thing about Evelyn Glennie that is extraordinary is she's profoundly deaf. So she feels sound rather than hears sound. And that is what sound is like in space. You can't really hear anything, but you feel it in your body. And so the kinds of sounds that she created from her bevy of percussion play a big part in creating those kind of vortex and unusual sounds. So those three elements, as well as multiple choirs and a massive orchestra, were really the building blocks of the score.
Well, again, there's so many rich layers to the score. So thank you for sharing some insight in regards to how you kind of came up with some of those very beautiful and unique sounds. There is one thing I noticed though throughout the score. I didn't catch any of the existing themes for our three heroes. However, there seems to be a new theme. I think it's called Higher, Further, Faster Together. I think that's the running name for it. I didn't have the track names, but how did you kind of come up with this new theme for this trio of heroes?
Well, I mean, we talked a lot about this, and I think the most important thing, and this comes from Nia, is that the Marvels is not Captain Marvel 2. The Marvels is its own thing. So you have to think about the Avengers in relationship to Captain America or any of the single-off films. It's more about creating a theme that really is about this collaboration between or among the three of them. And so a new theme had to be created for that. And so that is mostly what the major theme is. There's a little bit of Ms. Marvel in there. There is a theme created for the villain and lots of different themes created for different emotions connected to the film. But I think that the Marvels deserved a new theme for this kind of epic collaboration.
Yeah, the theme serves as a symbol of unity and a sort of collective togetherness. So I think that really does work, and I loved how it was sprinkled throughout the entire score. Laura, thank you so much for taking the time to geek out with me about your music. I absolutely adored it, and I look forward to hearing what you do next.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you bringing me on the show. Bye, geeks.
Hey, Mary, my name's Justin. Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast. How are you?
Good. So nice to meet you, Justin. Thank you for the time. This is awesome.
Well, thank you for making the time. I had a chance to screen some of the footage, and it looks fantastic. I'm very excited to chat with you about it. First, though, I just wanted to kick things off. You've been with Marvel for a little while. I thought maybe we could find out a little bit more about what that journey's been like leading to the Marvels.
Absolutely. I'm lucky enough to have spent the majority of my career at Marvel. I interned with Marvel back during college, over 10 or 11 years ago now.
Wow.
And began working full time with Marvel back in like 2015. It's been amazing to come up at this company where everyone is so supportive, where the best idea wins, and we're all encouraged to bring our best creative to the table. I also was lucky enough to produce WandaVision. That was my first spin around the dance floor. And it was so fun to push the creative bounds of our storytelling with that show. And we're doing that again here with the Marvels, especially with the idea of entanglement and this team up movie that Marvel hasn't really seen outside of an Avengers movie. It's been an incredible experience.
Well, yeah, going off of that, the Marvel seems to have a very different tone based on the footage I saw compared to other MCU movies. It's a little bit more fun and a little less gloom and doom of what we're getting with Loki and season 2, right? So, in your opinion, I wanted to know how do you feel this film sets itself apart while still fitting into the larger MCU?
The tone of this movie really reflects the taste of all the people that made it. It's Nia's vision through and through. She's a huge fan of the comic book space, and the first meeting that we had was just full of chats about all of our favorite characters. It has been a total joy to make a film with someone who's just as much a fan. And this movie is different than other Marvel movies in that, again, it's a team up outside of the Avengers, and we've never seen that before. It's fun. It's fast paced. The movie really cooks.
Yeah.
And it's really the chemistry between the three leads that makes the whole story sing.
And I think that's why you get the sort of fun dynamic that you get from this movie, is because of their dynamic, and obviously Kamala Khan being the geek that she is. So, it's tons of fun to see them all kind of interacting with each other. Now, I imagine you've seen this movie quite a few times already. So I wanted to know, given each time you watch it, is there something that you're specifically proud of from this movie that just like stands out and you're just like, yes?
My goodness, so many things. There's so much to be
Yeah.
proud of with this movie. And despite the fact that I've seen it a billion times and our crew has seen it a million times, even in the last days in the mix, just putting the final touches on the movie, we were cracking up the whole way through. Everyone can delight in something in this film, and that's what's so great. I, of course, am a huge fan of the Fleur Kittens and the chaos they bring to the screen.
Of course, that's very fitting. Now, as you mentioned, we do get to see our heroes go through this sort of entanglement situation. I wanted to know if you could be entangled with any one of these heroes, Monica Rambeau, Ms. Marvel, or Captain Marvel, who would you choose and why?
Oh my gosh, that's a really incredible question. I think I would have to say Kamala Khan, because she always winds up in crazy adventures doing wild stuff, and she's a total blast of a character, and I would love to live in her world.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Well, you're an absolute blast, Mary. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on the Geekcentric podcast. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing more of the movie.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Really appreciate the time.
And we are back. I think honestly, if you just listened to those interviews, obviously those two very talented women are incredible. I do have to highly recommend, if you're driving right now, pull over and take a look at some of the style that was rocking in these interviews. I mean, Justin, you looked good, but Laura, come on, like she's rocking 2 sets of glasses. She's got like this amazing black and white motif going on.
Yep.
She looks so stylish.
Yeah, she was like a friendly, stylish Cruella de Vil, if that makes sense.
I love that. I love that.
So
absolutely.
And she's got such great style, which just adds to her presence. She's so confident in the way she talks, and she's so friendly, and it's just absolutely lovely to have the opportunity to chat with her. And she's an artist. The way she talks about how she composes her music and how her passion goes into it.
She
right?
lives and breathes the music that she's making, for sure.
100%. And I think it's great because you see that in the way she geeks out with us and talks about the sounds that they used and how they got these sounds for some of the score.
Oh, it's so cool, man. The fact that she went to a prop house and rented stuff that she says fell out of the sky is so cool. And I think, her working with Christina Talon, who's not just a composer, but a data scientist, to compose sonifications using data, like using plot points from the story, is so dope. And then she also mentioned Evelyn Glennie, who's deaf, and she's a percussionist, and the fact that she feels sound, and that's how she composes, is so damn cool. And I think the coolest part about that story is, in a way, she worked alongside 2 other women to kind of create her own team of Marvels. Yeah. Right. And it's like an epic collaboration, and the movie's about an epic collaboration. And I just thought it was so cool. And I love it. I love the fact that she made a new theme for the Marvels and as a team. And dude, when she says "bye geeks," I mean, it just made my heart melt. I'm sorry. So good.
No, I totally agree. I think you can really hear her sense of passion and love for what she does in the way that she talks about, coming together with others to kind of build this incredible sound bank. And imagine what being in space sounds like. So
good. And I mean, she wasn't the only stylish one. I think Mary, that sick red leather jacket, like just looking just dope AF. And, I think it's cool. She mentioned she's been working with Marvel for over a decade. The fact that she started as an intern is crazy. And now she's an executive producer with the company. And she worked on WandaVision and now this movie. And, I think it makes total sense to go. She's worked on WandaVision and now this with, Monica Rambeau being so involved, obviously, in both of those stories. I like that she said the tone reflects the taste of the people that made the movie. And you can absolutely tell. And, I think in subsequent interviews, I've seen Nia DaCosta and how much of a fan she is. And I think from this interview between Nia, Mary, and probably Iman standing together in a room at some point, that I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall hearing just how geeky those conversations could have gotten.
Oh yeah, and it definitely went there.
Yeah.
Again, to your point, highlighting the collaborative nature of what goes into this movie and the topic of the story being, a trio of heroes that have to come together and work collaboratively. I think that there's just such a great sort of art imitating life behind this whole project that I think is really great. And like you said, it's a movie about heroes that are women, and the production is very much featuring women and behind the scenes, and I think that's great.
Absolutely, and I 100% agree with her. I would want to be entangled with Miss Marvel. Sorry, Justin, but I think getting a chance to enjoy a Khan family dinner would be amazing. And I think getting to hang out with Nakia and Bruno playing Smash Brothers would be so dope, and it would be so much safer than anything else in the world that Monica or Carol might be up to.
Absolutely, yeah, because there's they're pretty much going through varying degrees of space. Right?
At all times.
Monica's closer to the Earth, but she's still in space. But then Captain Marvel is out there. So
yeah.
I
would just switch with if I was entangled with Captain Marvel, I'd just switch and explode in space. That would not be great. But that is it for this special Behind the Geeks episode for the Marvels. Keep in mind, we have a ton of other episodes covering recent releases with our spoiler-free reviews for, again, the Marvels, as well as the Netflix series Blue Eye Samurai, Invincible Season 2, Part 1, David Fincher's The Killer, and Goosebumps episodes 1 to 5. We also have some great interviews besides this one as well, like our most recent interviews with the creative team behind Loki. Justin had the chance to sit down with Dan DeLeo, who directed episode 2, Kazra Farahani, who directed episode 3, and production, and he's also the lead production design on the show. Christine Wada, who was the mastermind behind the costumes on the show. He chats with all of them about their individual journeys, but also, very similar to what we've been talking about with this Marvel project, the collaboration that goes into the creation of Loki Season 2. So check out those interviews either here on your podcast service of choice or go check them out on YouTube at youtube.com/geekcentric. Plus, we are continuing our Watch Club, speaking of Loki, for Loki Season 2. Our finale episode is coming very soon, and we're so excited to talk about the finale of that show with a very special guest. So definitely stay tuned for that. You can join our Discord by using the link in our description, and you can talk to us about the Marvels once you've seen the movie. We'd love to talk to you about it. And also, we are going to be doing a spoiler-filled discussion about the end of the movie and some very interesting, incredible moments that happen in that ending. So stay tuned for that as well. And lastly, we'd love to become Rotten Tomatoes certified. If you'd be so kind to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you think of these interviews, these Behind the Geeks episodes, and our reviews and our watch clubs. Justin, I think we did it. I think we flew higher, faster, further, and now you say,
together, baby.
Together, baby. Okay, we are entangled. But as we say, love ya.
Peace.